So Stephanie, today we have a groundbreaking solution that makes you more attractive, makes you live longer, enhances your memory, makes you more creative. So scientists have discovered a new treatment, lowers your food cravings, protects you from cancer, stroke, dementia, heart disease, wards off colds, flus, lowers diabetes. You'll be happier, less depressed, less anxious, right? The number one thing that actually does this is this magic solution called sleep. And sleep is key of all things, right? And determinant in how good you feel physically, how much fat you store, how well your decisions are made, how productive you are, how intelligent you are. And so it's the magic pill, getting better sleep. And so I talk to dozens of entrepreneurs every month who are just constantly overwhelmed, suffering by work and discouraged by finding, their readiness score or the Oura Ring is low, like just every morning, right? The app will tell them, hey, take it easy. Like, don't do much. This is not going to be the best day ever. But for these top 1%ers, there's always like this endless list of things to do and people to meet and things that just need to be done, right? And so the last thing they need is another app or notification saying, hey, their day is screwed. And so the biggest question to do is, what do you do when the Oura Ring says your readiness score is enough? Do you have any experience with this, Stephanie?
I haven't used Oura Ring. I did use Whoop when I was doing CrossFit for a while. It was a popular thing to do. I experienced something similar to what you're describing, and I heard it from all these people at the gym. You wake up and your device is telling you feel terrible, and it's demotivating, right? And then people just kind of stop using them, because what are you going to do when you're going to maybe not work out as much, and maybe you're going to change how you would perform throughout the day?
Definitely. Yep.
And so people stop using it, but really they're useful tools. These wearables are useful if you know how to respond to that data, right? I mean, that's been your experience.
Yeah, I think my suggestions for clients when they get or people when they get consistently bad sleep scores, it's not something that can be solved overnight. It's really, again, a processional change. And for me personally, it took a few months to realize like the Oura Ring was like this bad boy. He's like a little bit of I guess like an algorithmic accountability partner, right? I can't lie to it, Stephanie. Like it knows when I went to bed. It knows like, hey, like when I woke up, it knows that, hey, look, maybe I stayed up too late binge watching a show. And it's like,
so you have to be more conscientious of your habits, right? And how they affect you.
You can't BS it. And so like having someone or something keeping you more accountable is so valuable. Like if it's an entrepreneurial journey or health and wellness journey. And so not being able to BS it. And so, yeah, being conscientious of your sleep and, some of your habits that impact sleep. Mm-hmm. Amazing, right? And that's kind of the key benefit of a wearable like the Oura Ring. It's not going to necessarily do the work for me. And it's going to really tell me more of a reminder, hey, look, I have to control my habits. And so it's really super objective. I feel, what I use it for, like, what are the habits that will affect my performance?
Yeah. And you have to make sure that you're keeping in mind habits and how you handle that data, how you respond in and out of the gym, right? Your cognitive function is massively affected by how you sleep at night. So an example, let's say you wake up after your late night binge watching session and your readiness score is low. What do you do that day?
The first step is like, don't panic. There's an important nuance between a day and the day-to-day and thinking about the trend, right? And the day-to-day, ironically, doesn't matter so much as like the trend, but really like double click on like.
And then when you're looking at those trends over time, when you notice your readiness score is trending downward, for example, what are factors you notice tend to cause this?
Well, there's like multiple factors. For me personally, this is super embarrassing. I think it's like discipline. And it's just like so super basic, like going to bed at the same time, waking up at the same time on weekends and weekdays, easier said than done. I think if I had to zoom out, it's like consistency, but ultimately it's just like a few takeaways that I found. It told me how much sleep I need. Everyone's like, oh, you need 8 hours of sleep, or oh no, you can do 6 hours of sleep. Elon Musk is like 6 and a quarter. And for me, it told me, hey, 7 and a quarter, very precise. And like, it told me, hey, look, lying in bed awake is not the same as like deeper REM sleep, right? And so it kind of told me like, a few pieces that I needed to figure out for myself. Like I found out that, for example, like working out late at night killed my like deep sleep because it helped my like heart rate be elevated. I was a little hotter at night. Yeah. And it also told me like a set of things, what not to do. I also found out like when I drank alcohol, it just destroyed my recovery and my sleep, and making sure like for example, talk to Dr. Ryan about this, like I had to have 3 to 4 hour fasting windows before bedtime, like in avoiding blue light. I had these like blue light blocker glasses and like this app that tones down my monitor so that I don't have kind of those, issues with going to sleep. And so really just keeping kind of like the bedroom temperatures like under 66, that would really help me out personally. I made the decision to buy this mattress called the 8 Sleep. Great mattress cover, not the most comfortable, but it certainly does help me out in that. And, there's this magic number called what they call like the HRV.
Heart rate variability?
Yeah. And it's like, it's a tough one because like it's a warning signal and it's not just like a super number that tells you, hey, you're screwed, or hey, like, what you have to do. And the challenge with that is like, you need to kind of work with somebody or an expert. For me, like when I have a lower HRV or HRV's off, there's a few variables I need to double click on. Like it's, hey, did I, have alcohol? Did I have enough hydration, right? Did I get my 1.5 gallons of water? Did I, have a late night meal workout? Am I kind of feeling under the weather, right? Is there kind of been a stressful kind of couple of seasons or just overtraining, stuff like that? that kind of are warning signals. And I think that the biggest summary that I learned from using the Oura Ring is the concept of sleep debt. Like kind of like, there's this tax you pay that accumulates and you can't get rid of sleep debt overnight. It is cumulative. And so if your baseline for me is like 7.25, and I'm missing it for a week, I'm getting 6 hours, right? I'm accumulating, basically like 7 hours plus of sleep debt that needs to be paid off. And it takes days to pay it off, right? Not weeks. And that's the biggest takeaway that I learned. Having somebody that can help you navigate this, as opposed to being like, oh, this is giving me too many warning signals. I'm deleting it. I'm divorcing that. Oura Ring, I think, has kind of been super helpful for my journey.
So it sounds like then the order of operations, I mean, if you're in this situation, it would kind of be to start tracking and understanding your baseline, right? And then talking to some kind of an expert who can help you analyze what those metrics actually mean and what could be causing those issues.
Yeah.
And then having an accountability partner or coach really helps to kind of course correct and adhere to those habits that help improve your sleep and then, in turn, your cognitive function.
Yeah, and exactly. And this is like not a magic pill or an overnight solution, but really more of a long-term strategy to getting an edge, right? Because like, I think that's the secret sauce. Like really just think about everything from a long-term lens. What are some of the variables or micro adjustments you can make along the way that improve your health? And I think it's so easy to kind of get super stressed out about what this buddy says to you. But I think, taking a long-term view really can give you an edge.